Drawing is usually performed at room temperature, thus classified as a cool working process, but it may perform at elevated temperatures for large wire to reduce force. The speed in the wire drawing process depends on the temperature and thickness of the wire used. As the temperature and diameter is high, the speed must be lower to prevent the wire breaking.
Now I want to talk about the safety procedure for making the paperclip. Failure to use proper procedure in melting and casting steel can be dangerous. Where there is possibility of splash or other direct exposure, personnel working with molten steel must wear eyes and face protection as well as protective clothing, because when you make melting and casting steel, the temperature is very high. And next is the manufacturing process for making the paperclip. The manufacturing process for paperclip is fairly simple, using a specialist wire forming machine. Moreover, the process has not changed much since the 1930s. 1. The process begins with a hard spool of galvanized steel wire. A worker feeds the end of the wire into the paperclip machine. A finished paperclip has three bends. The machine forms the wire into these three bends by cutting it and passing it by three small wheels. The wheels are slightly rounded and catch the length of the wire as they pass. Number two is the first wheel turn the wire 180 degree, making the first bend. The second make the next bend, and the third will make the final turn. The entire process is so quick, the machine can churn out hundreds of clips a minute. The finished paperclip fall into open box. The box are shut and sealed, depend on the size of the factory. Many paperclip machines may operating at once. Automated control allow one worker to monitor dozens of machines. There is manufacturing process for making the paperclip.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hakimi. Today, I would like to talk about wire drawing process of galvanized steel that is used to make paper clips. The first process of making wire of the galvanized steel is, first, the galvanized steel will go different size of the drawing dies. To flow into the dies, the galvanized steel are shrink at the beginning by hammering, filling, rolling, swaging to fit into the dies. As the wire is pulled into the dies, its volume will remain the same, but the diameter will be decreases, but the length will be increases. Next, what I can say is that usually there are more than one dies to meet the required size of the wire. At the end of the process, the wire will be stored into spool before they will be sent to the machine and make the paper clips. Now, I would like to talk about the process of making paper clips. From the spool of the galvanized steel wire, a worker will fit the end of the spool of the wire into the machine. Next, the machine will cut the size of the wire and passes it through three rough wheels to bend it 3 times into the pattern of the geom paper clips. Next, the first wheel will make 180 degree turn for the first bend, and the second wheel also will make another 180 degrees turns, and the third wheel will make the final bend of 180 degrees bends. That is the end of the making of the paper clips. And as we know, the machine is very fast, so it can make more than hundreds paper clips in a minute. The finished paper clips will be stored into a container before they are sealed and are distributed into the markets. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning. I am Rifan and I want to talk about the advantage and disadvantage of wire drawing process. So paperclip is involved in the wire drawing process. So the advantage of the process is they have small floor space and is high drawing density, no twisting during the drawing process. It has a high speed drawing, and the cooling and lubrication conditions of the sail wire and good quality of the products is guaranteed. and the disadvantage of the process while doing the paperclip is during the drawing process there's a relative sliding between the steel wire and the surface of the reel, so the friction is high and agitation of the cooling will consume a large amount of power. So the high amount of power will make the process a high cost. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, wire drawing defects. Now, wire drawing process has the similar defects to extrusion process, with an addition of the formation of seams. Now let's get to the first one. The first defect is internal cracking. Now the internal cracking is the cracks that develop inside the material at the center of the material. Now it is hard to detect due to it being inside the material and we have no way to see it. And it has other names such as central cracking, central burst, chevron cracking, or arrowhead cracking. And next we have surface cracking. Now surface cracking can be developed due to high temperature, high running speed, and high friction, and it will make the surface of the material rough. And next and finally we have the seams. Now the seams are the scratches or folds that develop along the material in a longitudinal fashion. Now the condition of this defect can become even worse if the material is in a subsequent forming operation, such as heading, threading, or bending. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.